Did you know? Every time you step out of your house, you are walking into a war zone. Not a war you can see with your eyes, but one that rages in the unseen. There's a spiritual battle happening right now around your life, your mind, your family, and whether you recognize it or not. You're in the middle of it, but here's the powerful truth. God hasn't left you defenseless. He has crafted a divine gift with His own hands, the armor of God, a supernatural protection. A holy shield forged not by man, but by the Most High Himself yet. So many believers walk around unaware of its power. They know of it, they may have read about it, but they don't truly understand how to use it. And because of that, they live vulnerable, weak, and constantly under attack. But what if this truth is the missing key you've been praying for, the breakthrough your soul's been crying out for? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you will change how you see everything. It will open your eyes, it will strengthen your faith, and it will transform the way you fight and win your spiritual battles. First, you must understand this. The armor of God is not poetic imagery. It's not just a metaphor tucked away in the book of Ephesians. It is real, it is spiritual, and it is powerful. This armor wasn't designed to be optional. It's not a suggestion. It is a divine necessity, a daily lifeline for every child of God. Why? Because we live in a world that is constantly at war with your purpose, your peace, your destiny. Ephesians 6:12 makes it painfully clear. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. You're not just fighting people, you're battling spirits. You're up against forces that want to destroy everything good in your life. That's why you need the armor every single day. Because the attacks are real, even when they're invisible. Sometimes they show up as waves of doubt. Sometimes it's fear, anxiety, depression, temptation, like flaming arrows. They strike, suddenly aim to steal your joy, your peace, your faith. And when that happens, you don't need motivational quotes. You don't need self-help strategies. You need something higher. You need God's protection. You need the armor designed by heaven to withstand hell. Let's start with the first piece, the belt of truth. This is where it begins. It's not just mentioned first, it's the foundation of it all. Without truth, your entire spiritual life crumbles. Jesus didn't just speak truth, He is the truth. John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. So when you put on the belt of truth, you're not just agreeing with an idea, you're aligning with a person, with Christ Himself. Truth is what stabilizes you. It holds everything together. It declares that what God says is more real than what you feel, more real than what the world screams at you. Without it, you're vulnerable. The enemy's lies can twist your identity, distort your purpose, and blur your relationship with God. But when you wrap yourself in truth, you become unshakable. Truth clears the fog. Truth exposes deception. Truth anchors your soul. So even when the winds of this world howl, you stand tall, unmoved, grounded in the unchanging truth of Christ. Now let's talk about the next piece, the breastplate of righteousness. This one's personal, because your heart is the battlefield. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Your emotions, your thoughts, your will, they all come from the heart, and that's exactly why the enemy goes after it first. The breastplate is your defense. It guards you from guilt, from shame, from condemnation, from the whispers that say you're not good enough, not worthy, too broken. But here's the key. This righteousness isn't yours. It's not about how holy you've been or what you've done right. Isaiah 64:6 tells us plainly, all our righteous acts are like filthy rags. No, this is about His righteousness, Christ's righteousness. When you put on the breastplate, you're not covering yourself with effort, you're covering yourself with Him. His purity, His perfection, His victory. It's not about what you've done, it's about what He has done for you. And when you wear it boldly, you walk with authority. You live without fear because you're not standing in your own strength. You're standing in His walk in the light of God's standards, and let His truth guide every step you take when you live this way. When righteousness clothes your heart, you are no longer exposed. Yes, the enemy will come. He'll whisper reminders of your past. He'll fire arrows of shame and guilt aiming straight for your heart. But do not fear, they will not pierce the breastplate of righteousness that covers you. The righteousness of Christ. You are not only protected, you are empowered to walk boldly, to move in faith, to know deep in your soul that your heart is safe in the hands of Almighty God. Now look at your feet, because on this battlefield, even your steps matter. The gospel of peace is like a pair of spiritual shoes custom fit for your soul. But these shoes weren't made just for walking. They were made for standing firm, for pressing forward even when the path is rough, the ground is shaking and chaos surrounds you. Life will try to trip you, storms will rise, unexpected battles will rage, but when your feet are grounded in the peace of Christ, you will not be moved. Jesus said it Himself in John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. This peace isn't dependent on your circumstances. It doesn't shift with the economy. It's not tied to your mood, it flows from heaven, it's divine. And as Philippians 4:7 says, it surpasses all understanding, it becomes the solid ground beneath you. So even when everything shakes, you won't fall. When fear comes knocking, you'll still be walking. When the world is in chaos, your soul will still be calm, because His peace holds you steady. Next comes the shield of faith. Your first line of defense, the enemy's arrows are relentless doubt, fear, temptation, discouragement. They come flying fast and furious with one goal: to weaken your spirit, to break your relationship with God. But here's the glorious truth. Faith extinguishes every single arrow. Not some, all of them. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Faith isn't a feeling. It's not wishful thinking. Faith is steel in your soul. It's the voice that says, even if everything falls apart, I will still trust Him. Just like Job declared in Job 13:15, though He slay me, yet will I trust Him. That's the power of faith. When arrows fly, faith holds up the shield. It blocks the lie, it silences the fear, it strengthens your steps, and it reminds you that God's promises are stronger than any attack now. Let's talk about the helmet of salvation. This is not just armor. It is a lifeline for your mind. Because your mind is the real battlefield. It's where the enemy wages his fiercest war. If he can control your thoughts, he can control your life. But the helmet of salvation says no more. It guards your mind with holy certainty. It reminds you daily, fiercely and faithfully who you are. When you accepted Christ, your salvation became your identity, and every time you put on this helmet, you are declaring, I am saved, I am redeemed, I belong to God. It silences the whispers that say, you're not good enough, you're too far gone, God doesn't really love you. Lies, all of it, because the truth is your salvation is secure. Ephesians 6:17 tells us, put on the helmet of salvation. Why? Because it protects your mind.